Alright, noble viewers, I'm gonna do this castless one as I got to the ops slot anyways. So here we go on the Axis team, a very good Axis team of Napoleon, Bobo, and Salin. Napoleon likes to mass some BCs, so I expect him to do that, but he's been trying to do some different shit as Germ, so I expect some different stuff to happen. We got Goliath, Waffen, Luigi, and Feet from the Allies team. It's got some good potential, but I do think the Axis team has the edge in this one. So right away, Germany's luring some Belgium, got those bunkers down early. Looks like France is loading up some dropships. Standard play in Africa so far just looks like Goliath, but it's probably the UK. Oh, Waffen. He was trying to go for the barrack of Spain's, but Spain saw it and microed him, which is good. Will France send these drops down there? No, he's taking his time, so by the time he sent them now, I'm sure Algeria will be gone, so he's just gonna leave them in Paris. Good early Egypt pressure from Waffen, just microing those down, which is good. I think Napoleon tends to actually evac these, probably send them to the west. Yep, here his tanks are, so he's taking his ground from the Tobruk area over to Egypt. Get the Russia attack coming in. Oh, Italy almost got that first PC, which is good. Got it into red at least. He's just going to pull that one and repair it. Bring it attack for the next round, I guess. Good attack here. He's got his 6 tanks safe, which is nice. He's getting some good trades off the Italy ground. Very good attack, actually. This is a very good attack. Get some bunkers going down at the top. Looks like he's gotten a lot of Italy's tanks so far. He'll probably wipe this. There's not much German ground left. Let's go peek over what's going on in France. Looks like he's doing a far back hold, unless he still has his dropships loaded. Unless we missed all his ground being killed, I expect they're still in the dropships. And Germany has a lot of tanks left over, so Russia's going to have a lot of trouble on the next attack if France is going to do something with his drops. I expect there's troops in there anyways. So, first round. So, Axis is looking pretty good here. Italy did lose a lot of his ground, which is the downside, but Germany's got a lot of tanks left, a lot of his BCs. Oh, there comes those France drops. That was unfortunate. Unfortunate. I don't think they had the boom they wanted to. Looks like UK tried to follow up with them. Maybe they didn't communicate better. They could have timed it a little better and had better drop presence. But all his tanks were there, all his missiles are there, all that Spain ground. That's quite unfortunate for the Allies team. At least they got half of Spain's ground, so we can't do an early drop play. My wife's showing me her boob, which is very nice. It looks like, who's this Italy? Bobo's got a nice little wall up already. And Russia doesn't look like he's prepared to attack yet, so it looks like we're going to have a bit of a lull for the next minute or two, unless Norway's going to do something. I think he's still making his drops. I don't think he has a drop loaded yet. Going excessive on the mines here again. A lot of Norways do that. Just like 6 guys in this little area, and you're good. What else is going on in the world? Big Goliath trigger is going to spawn here at 4:40 on the clock. There's nothing else really going on, so I guess we'll watch that. A lot of France's should be targeting the Marines here as they're more valuable. Like, they do just shit damage to the air, which is why it's always good to have your air here to tank the damage. Nothing going on. Just everyone's prepping. Nothing's happening. Norway's making his drops. He might have been supply blocked. It's important that you try to get your depots up before 110, so you're not waiting for your supply depots to catch up to finish. I think it normally only starts with maybe 40 or 60 supply tops, so they got to make like a good 6 supply depots by the 110 timer where their trigger comes in, so that it can just keep making dropships. Unless, of course, they have all their dropships made before 110, which is unlikely. I don't think that works out, as the timer for the dropship is probably like 15 seconds or something each. So let's find out what he's going to do. Russia looks like he's about ready. He's got a couple BCs left, which is nice, and they saved a lot of tanks too, so I mean, Germany's got a lot of ground. It's got a fair-sized fleet, a lot of ghosts, so I expect, unless Russia gets some help here, he's gonna counter a lot of losses. It's not gonna go that well. Norway could drop with him, that'll turn the tide and make this an effective attack, but yeah, a lot of ground there for the Axis. Else in the world looks like Italy's going to hold out Africa for a while, which is good. I wish Waffen would see this BCs getting taken fire for needlessly and probably just going to die. That's such a waste. Oh well, yeah, that's going to make a pain for France. So here we go in the east attack. It looks like nicely actually. This attack might have surprised Napoleon and got a lot of his tanks down right away, which was really, really good before the flank even really came in. Doesn't like Italy's got a lot of stuff here besides the wall, which will repair. A lot of the ground for the Germany is dead up top, and he's probably going to have to move these BCs down before he's going to start losing them. Yeah, all this ground, nothing to cover those BCs except for the measures, which we don't want to lose too many of those. The lower flank's doing okay though, ate up a lot of the bottom, so Russia won on the top part, got a fair bit of air, which is good. Hopefully he can save his tanks. Looks like he's going to get about half his tanks out, which is good. And he got all of Germany's ground, so. And Italy's still, on par with Russia on tanks, so. Next wave will be good for the Allies, I think. And his air was softened up for UK. So it looks like Norway landed here in France, which is going to clear out the AWOL. I mean, unfortunately, Axis already got all the attacks, I'm sure, by the time this landed and cleared out the spy depots. So not going to be too much of a hindrance for him. Yeah, I mean, losing the AWOL is no good, but really otherwise it's probably just some supply depots. I'm sure they'll very cost-effectively deal with the rest of this ground, as Spain's luring them into... These aren't loaded, unfortunately, but yeah. It'll load these and micro them, and Germany's just going to clean them up. It'll be a very cost-effective way for dealing with the rest of this ground. Medfleet just spawned. Germany wasn't there, but Spain's got a ton of shit. Looks like he took care of it easily. He might have had like a key of air himself and lost some of it. And he just got his trigger, which helps to send off the remainder of the Norway until Germany can clean him up with his BCs. But the good part is, at least the AWOL's down. If the UK is on point, you can just, be a pain in the ass every single turn. At 2 minutes, that BC will spawn. You can just fly down and take it out every turn. Germany's going to have to pay attention to the timer every game, every part of the game now. Make sure that doesn't happen. France isn't kind of taking his time in Africa here, but he might have taken one hit here that I didn't notice, because it looks like Italy's ground was thinned out a little bit. But he's probably going to bring these BCs down too, as they did fairly okay on East. He's probably not going to beat them on East. Germany still has most of his BCs, plus the 2 from Medfleet now, so it's probably about 9 or 10. Looks like Norway might be ready to drop again, which is pretty quick. He still got some ground floating around to France too. Maybe he can drop again and snipe some attacks, but I'm not sure what he's doing. Just kind of hanging out. Not much going on. Hopefully the Allies make an attack here soon and start pressing Africa. Yeah, it's another little spot here. It'll slow them up again. So I don't expect France and the Allies to get out Africa for a turn or 2 yet. It's going to stop them again. So Salon's calling that he's got 10 drops now. They'll probably go UK. It's a very good bet. I would anyways. And there's the call from the Germany, who usually is the shot caller. Yeah, there it is. The 2 minutes spawned, and it's Russia, who you don't expect to actually be on point to catch that. I'm not sure what Napoleon was scared off by there. He might have thought that Russia spotted his air there, and their allies were expecting a UK drop, so that's why he maybe have called off the attack and went away. If I know Napoleon, he's going to ask them to drop Oslo now instead. We'll see what he does, though. He'll call something in chat. They are in Discord, but I don't think Salon talks too much on the mic. Looks like UK's got 4 keys, maybe 5 there. He's got 2 upgrades, which is good. Norway's got a drop here though, so this will be a good exchange if they go UK. Looks like they're going to, so. Oh, this is actually very good timing. Oh, he only dropped some of this stuff, which is smart, actually. Had Norway committed, at least half of his drop here, it would have been a great time to go UK. But they're going now, there is some extra turrets here, and those fire bats might hinder a little bit. I think they're pulling this whole attack. Scared off by all those turrets and the 3 fire bats, maybe. It's a pain in the ass with those turrets, because you for Germany, you need to kill those before Spain's able to land, and you have to dive some air in there into the turrets and the fire just to get them down. I guess you could yam them. I've never seen someone yam a fire bat, but it's not a bad move, I'd say. He could have also yammed some more to the turrets, I'm sure, unless he somehow spent all his energy from his BC somewhere. Looks like Russia's going for a little box attack here. Still has 2 of his BCs, he's kept prepared. It's a very efficient Goliath. Oh, and France, has broken through the initial Italy defense in Africa. He'll probably get hung up at the German defenses down here next, I imagine. So, trick with the box attack is quickly get in as fast as you can and don't get hemmed in this little part here. If the Italy and Germany are on point and they're able to get here quickly, they can just stuff you and pull a whole 300 Spartan hold in there and you'll encounter more losses. So it looks like they're still pretty close. That's starting to become a scary BC fleet that Germany has. UK is going to have to conserve his air and try to take down a lot of those measures so we can catch the BCs open and pick a few off. Looks like he got some in red though. But red's not good. You want kills, because Germany's will most likely just repair them. Looks like Norway is landing in Spain, and it looked like there might have been a fire bat or 2 in those. That is unfortunate for the Allies. That drop was very ineffective. Here we have Francis hit the second wall. Looks like he lost all his infantry. He might have tried to attack it head on. Didn't work. Lost all of his infantry, and now he's just trying to micro them. Not being effective with his air either. Could have saved those. Spain is going for Wells. They didn't go for UK. Spain still has his large drop. He didn't have to go back to Spain because his defenses just destroyed that Norway drop. There's not much here for Spain, just the wellmen that spawned. Sorry, for France and UK, just the wellmen that spawned. France doesn't have anything here. It was all committed in Africa. The timing of a Wells drop is kind of important as well. You want to make sure that France is heavily committed in Africa, so he doesn't have all his troops in the Middle East. And the Germany's even be a bro here and bringing his measures down, which is kind of risky. I don't like doing it. Because now, you can see this is likely the RAF fleet coming in, and it's going to try to catch that measures on the way back. When I'm Germany, I kind of just like to hang out in this little region here and wait for them to come back. But yeah, this is exactly why. The measures were already out-aired by the RAF, and no point in fighting that. It's just going to run through, take his losses, and save a few, I guess. But smart move by Waffen. Get down there and take out all those measures. So, the BCs, you gotta protect them some way, and if you're completely out-aired by the RAF, you gotta be really careful. You gotta make sure wherever you go, you got a lot of ground presence to even deal with it. Or, it's generally safe if you see the RAF in Russia or UK or something that you can send your BCs, by themselves down to Africa or something. But other than that, you've got to keep an eye on the RAF, keep them over ground now to make them useful. So that was a good accomplishment there for the Axis. They got the wells, they got the France infrastructure, and with the changes that have been implemented in the map, unless France takes a building here, they won't get his triggers for a duration of 1 turn. Meaning, if France has a trigger that should be happening right now and doesn't have a building here, he has 1 full turn to be able to bring a building to this location, and he will still get the trigger. If he doesn't bring his building within 1 full turn, then he will lose that trigger. which is something we put in to, give incentive for the Axis team to be able to, come to Middle East and, have it be rewarding. It used to be really hard, as if Spain came over here, had a good ground presence, and the France triggers just kept spawning, it's like makes it really difficult to hold this region as reinforcements are really far away. Well, looks Russia came down to clear everything out, so he's going to have to take some more time before he's able to attack on East again. But yeah, Norway's down in Africa taking up the wall for France, which I'm kind of okay with. He got crushed in Spain. He knows Spain has good defenses. UK is still there, so he's kind of sitting on his thumbs, waiting for something to do. So at least he took out that last defense for the Axis team in Africa. So now, once France is back on his feet, he can quickly get back in Africa, get Algeria, and hopefully get some drops rolling to start putting some pressure on the Axis from the soft underbelly of Europe. So it looks like Napoleon's hungry for the Oslo attacks here. He's got to get this last turret, I think. He's got to be really careful, as I said before. He's barely out-aired, unless he made some more measures. Actually, he's traded that well. I thought there was a lot more raft than there was, so there goes that advantage he had in the skies. He's probably got a little bit more raft than he does measures now, but those BCs definitely turn the tide in any open air battles. And by air I mean sea, of course, as there were no flying battleships in World War II, because we all know this map is very historically correct. So this is also very good for the Axis. Norway sent his troops down to try to get the tax. That's a big portion of Norway's tax. It's worth fighting for, but all that ground just got mowed free by those BCs. I'm sure Germany didn't lose any BCs and just got some of them down. Only a little bit of damage. Looks like Luigi's going heavy on the turrets in Africa. He's pulling a Ravixel, which is okay. I'm sure a lot of Frances are now scared of being in Algeria or just being measurated in Africa constantly, so I think they, as a general, defend up a little more. So it looks like Luigi's just making his airport. He does have 6 drops, so he could not necessarily need this airport right away, because he has some drop ships, but maybe by next term he'll start pumping out some drops and hopefully doing something to open up another front in Europe. So Spain did not clear America, so the Allies got D-Day. BCs are just going to mop up all the ground, but the big part is UK got these 6 free BCs. Hopefully had a couple more from his Lend-Leases that didn't get killed, and he's probably got about 8 there now. And he'll get another trigger at 140, which will just add to that fleet a little more. So the most effective thing now he can do, since Germany does out-air him entirely, is take his BCs, bring them to Russia. Hopefully Norway can have a drop at the same time. Might even be wise to just try to go for an all big east this next time. And Russia's got tons of tanks. I'm sure he definitely outgrounds the Axis just with those tanks alone. Plus those BCs and a Norway drop, that'd be really hard to stop, I think. And then if you just happen to bring France there as well, they could probably end this if Spain doesn't come east. But looks like Axis is going east first. So all that I just recommended will be undone here. The Axis is probably going to catch a lot of these tanks, or unless he's got them all hotkeyed and gets them away, he's going to kill a lot of Russian ground anyways. He's getting his tanks away. I'm sure some will get blocked from these Marines, and he's going to lose some stuff. And the German BC, or the UK fleet has not arrived yet, so I think I do a fair bit of damage. France is coming up. Norway's going into Turkey. Okay. Well, hopefully France stops and doesn't just keep sending into that. Yeah, there we go. Pull it. Hopefully they all make a nice mass together. hopefully, you know, thinking for the Allies, hopefully that the Axis team keeps pushing here, because it looks like the Allies are setting up to ambush this here. We got a drop coming, UK's fleet's here, France here. This should be a good battle, unless they pull. The Allies really want them to stay in here. No, Napoleon's called for the leaving. They're pulling. That's too bad. I think the Allies might have wiped out this whole shit if the Axis kept pushing, but Nat made the smart move. Smart move. That's a big BC fleet. That's probably about 18 BCs. And they're a 3-3 as well, so Norway's going to be aggressive. That was a little too ballsy in my opinion. I don't think he's going to get the outcome here that he wanted. You know, had the Axis team been blindly moving back into Germany, they could have just been moving past them as opposed to attacking. But yeah, there goes the whole drop. I think he's just sacrificing his drops now as like a decoy, and there's just a little bit left. Oh, Spain's here as well, but that's another bad drop as well. You need to really drop under the BCs, not in front of 30 tanks. There, his whole drop just got murdered. A lot more ground killed from Italy as well. BCs are by themselves. If they keep pressing, they could get some of these BCs, but looks like they're pulling. Both sides have had enough. They go back to their respective corners, and they'll do it again in the next turn probably. It doesn't look like Luigi's setting up for Algeria much. He might just start pumping drops out of the Middle East though. He is making some drop ships, so he'll probably pull out of Russia, start going drops, and hopefully start working on the underbelly. The board hasn't really changed much. I mean, the Allies have gotten Africa back, which is good, and the Axis have taken the Wells, which is definitely a dent in the Allies. And Nap's feeling really confident with his BC fleet. He knows he's kind of generally out-airs UK. He spotted UK's BCs in Russia, obviously, so he knows he's not going to get these BCs over there to fight his own fleet, so might as well take out some of UK's defenses while he knows there's nothing there defending it, which is good. Spain can now just follow up with a drop if he wants to, and there's nothing really defending UK anymore. Spain's being smart though, as you can't let France have Africa or here start getting dropped yourself. And there's money here that you don't want the Allies to have, you want the Axis to have. And if Spain doesn't have Algeria or UK, he's only getting about half his income that he should be getting. Looks like he's going to get the one city though, maybe this one. Looks like Germany was trying to fight for Oslo again, but Allies were waiting for him. They got a full drop, potentially a full drop, and the entire UK fleet there. This is the Egypt men coming from the same turn as the D-Day spawning. So once this is gone, the UK's got nothing left again for Africa. And he's not getting the Wellmen every turn, so probably the last UK ground you see in Africa for the rest of the game. But at least he's pushing back the Spain stuff. But it looks like Spain's going to reinforce it, which is good. Yeah, you want to protect your tanks. Spain doesn't get any tank triggers till late game, so you want to keep them safe, keep them prepared if you can, and micro the hell out of them. There's not a lot of tank action in Africa from the Allies. France does get some, but if you have tanks on one of your walls for the Axis side, it can be really effective. So here we go for the first drop for France. You should not drop Luigi, as Spain landed his first. He's already got all his troops on the ground. He's just going to crush your drop. Yeah, it's no good. Yeah, Spain had some men here, and potentially somewhere else he spotted the drop ahead of time, so he's able to pull his drop from Africa and just catch that France drop before it even landed. Very ineffective drop. I'm sure he didn't kill much, and he might be losing all his drop ships here too. Yeah, Germany was smart. He was coming to help Spain out in case things went bad, but Spain crushed it, and I can just go take out last stuff defending those dropships, and that's free kills, and a lot of money spent to France trying to repair them. You might get the shuttles home as they're faster, they got more health, more armor. Actually, not more armor, just more health. And they're fast, so they'll get away. Just not the shuttles, though, or the transports. So, at this point, not much else good going for the Allies. There's nothing left in Africa. They just really need to crush East here in this last attack. Luckily, Russia still has a lot of tanks, and this UK BC fleet. I mean, Axis has a lot of ground. Well, this attack surprises me. I'm sure there'll be a lot of good trades, but this should be a good game on this one. Axis will take this. That Germany BC fleet's too great, and they just have a ton of ground. You really should get some early yams off for UK. 4 yams to take out 1 BC. You might as well take out 2 before you even engage. I haven't seen any yams go off unless I missed them. Norway's being conservative and just dropping under the BCs, which is good. Italy is flanking, but I'm more interested in the air battle, as that's going to really determine the outcome, I think. Germany's being pushed away. Looks like the Allies taking the top for now, but Italy's doing work on all this Russian ground at the bottom. And yeah, another good strategy for the Axis for Germany is when you have no ground left under your VCs and you out air, is just to kind of go above the water. And, you can't land a drop under the water, so Spain arrived as well to reinforce under the VCs, which is fantastic. Italy's cleaned up the south flank. There's nothing left. Good game is out. I think it was a good try for the Allies, but just very, very strong Axis team. I think Defeat was playing around in Turkey a little bit, which is funny. Maybe Defeat wasn't playing all very serious, but pretty good game. Are they going to play this out a little further? I think if Axis just pushed right now anyways, it would be a good game. Looks like they are going to play this out a little longer, but Defeat's trying to debate otherwise. We'll see if they'd agree. Agree. Surprised Spain didn't land just a small drop here in UK. There's just nothing left here. They could have just mopped this up easily, but yeah. So Waffen and Defeat want to end it. And Goliath and Luigi want to play it, but it's game. Goliath, you need to realize that. It was a good game. Just a stronger Axis team prevailed. I am Exo. That was a long, very long-winded cast, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the game.